with you until the end. All units, I have your missions for this operation. The defense commander of this fortress is called Kulan, is known to have single-handedly defeated multiple Lepic. You and I will protect the rest of you. Guide.
I'm sorry. I detect a high concentration of inverted energy in this area. But I'm still finding it difficult to identify the exact source from this proximity.
Don't worry. Sometimes things can become more clouded the closer you get to them. It's like that for me with Aisha.
Whenever you go into the void to look for her, I'll help you.
I'll hold you to that. Oh.
Descendant. For some reason, I'm picking up traces of Colossi void energy. Here. Investigating this location will help us gather more intel. I understand it is heavily guarded, but I need you to take me there, Descendant. Are Colossi remains. Descendant, the corrosive fluid from the Colossus has damaged the control panel, and I can't connect to it. We'll need to destroy the panel and bypass it via the emergency control device. Now I can access the emergency control device. This facility used to be an auxiliary of the furnace, which was built to melt Colossi remains. It included a process that made it easier to remove and melt parts such as equipped weapons, round loaders, and battlesuits. I don't know why they were melting Colossi. I'll check the core facility. Processed Colossi remains were transported beyond that partition. The furnace used to melt Colossi remains must be there, Descendant.
We're detecting an enormous number of Vulgus signals from the direction of the main gate. There's another way in. Let's go that way to get closer. It's a side path, but the entire facility is crawling with defense forces. It'll be close to impossible to avoid combat, so be careful.
Descendant, there's a facility control terminal nearby. If you connect me to it, I can search for more information. Descendant, the Vulgus were melting Colossi remains to make highly enriched energy material. Heating the iron hearts using energy containing this much entropy would be more than enough to turn them into antimatter. So this is the truth behind inverted energy.
Can we use it for the inversion process, Guide?
No. This facility only melts Colossi remains. Heating the iron heart with the results of that process happens elsewhere. Perhaps at the inversion furnace. It must be physically connected to this place. I'll scan for intel in the control terminal. The molten Colossi remains seem to be flowing towards a location nearby. Let me check the blueprints. Descendant, the Vulgus are overloading the furnace. At this rate, the whole facility will be destroyed. We need this place to carry out the inversion process.
We have to destroy some of the nuclear reactors to lower the output. Find the ones with the fuses.
reduced, but not enough, Descendant. The furnace's temperature is still outside the normal range. We need to lower the output even further.
Loading.
Furnace temperature stabilized. We should seal off the system to maintain the current output. I've taken over the facility permissions. Now I can control it as I like. But if our enemy manages to destroy this facility, it won't make any difference that I've assumed control of the system. We must completely eliminate the Vulgus forces.
Loading. Loading. Reload. Load.
Sorry, a powerful enemy is headed your way. I should have taken care of it, but...
Inversion would have been impossible. Descendant, I have finally pinpointed the location of the inversion furnace. The facility is in the basement of Fortress Command, but our enemies have already established a line of defense between here and the command facility. The commander of this fortress must be waiting for us. Descendant, I regret.
We'll be fine, Guide. Right now, we have no choice but to get it done. All units, converge upon the point of attack at the fortress's defense line. Maintain your position there, ready for our final operation.
I will stand with you until the end. It's finally come to this. Success. Still, it looks like the fortress you need to destroy the Vulgus in any questions.
What's there to ask? Let's just go!
Great, let's move.
Descendant. The Vulgus forces are deleting confidential data at the destroyed base. After viewing the cache, I see it was some kind of blueprint. As they were desperate to destroy it, I believe it must be related to their fortress command. The data. As I expected, it is the blueprint for the fortress command.
I think they noticed we stole the data. They're all heading to your position.
Receiving more data. I'll analyze it, Descendant.
Careful. The Vulgus are flocking your way. Descendant, that Vulgus is remotely blocking the data transmission. You must eliminate them, so I can receive the blueprint data. Data received. Now I can accurately determine a route to the inversion furnace.
Damn it! The Vulgus built an IED with the Colossi remains. But they wouldn't survive the blast from this either. Are they out of their minds? We can stop it from detonating by destroying the trigger. more to go. I'll send the locations of the other Colossi remains to your receive. More to go. You can do it. Looks like someone on their side thinks just like me. You said it. Thanks for defusing the IED.
Fortress infiltration complete. Commencing with the mission to destroy the Ironheart. Guide, I'm counting on you to help until this is all over.
I'm putting my faith in you too, Ajax.
Now, we need to infiltrate the center of the fortress and secure a path to the inversion furnace. Lepic, Biesa, I want you to attack at the other location. Your goal is to break up their defense forces. I'll seal off the entrance so that the rest of you can infiltrate the facility. From now on, no one goes in or out of this place.
This is Lord Kalel's territory. How dare you step foot here? Rally all our forces and have them converge in the fortress. I'll follow after resupplying. Stop their advance until I return.
Is that him? The Vulgus commander who apparently single-handedly defeated several Colossi?
If he makes it through, we won't be able to reach the inversion furnace in time.
Descendant, it seems we've finally made it this far. We are waiting on you now, Descendant. We only have one chance. I believe we will.
Shields are offline. No. No.
Deploy the elite forces. Our enemies will fall here.
Descendant, I'll operate the furnace and start the inversion furnace sequence. Follow the directions laid out in your receive and get to the furnace. The Vulgus forces will come after you, but there's no time to lose. You must move quickly.
Guide, I've heard that the inversion process releases an enormous amount of energy. Can you guarantee that the units that enter will be safe without my barrier?
If we can escape while the Ironheart is still in the inversion furnace, the Descendants will not be exposed to the energy. Our biggest problem is the Vulgus commander leading the fortress defense. If they appear, they will delay everything, lowering our chance of success.
Leave that to us. I'll blow them up no matter how strong they are.
Shields are down. They need to be recharged.
They're operating the furnace. Do they know about the inversion furnace? They must believe they can destroy the fortress by overloading it. How futile! Close the partition and stop their advance. Once I've resupplied, I will hunt them down myself.
The Vulgus are stalling. We can open the partition by disconnecting the power. Fortunately, they are unaware of our true goal. They believe that we are only here to destroy the fortress.
However, if Jaber's jamming signal is disrupted, they will discover everything. We must complete the operation before that happens.
Shields are offline. Critical damage detected. Shields are down. We need to be recharged.
Communications with Master Corel not been restored yet. There's no response from Agios either. However, Master Corel doesn't need to know why the scum are headed to the inversion furnace. A dead descendant says nothing. Send our forces to the Ironheart lab. We will fight the Descendants there. This is your opportunity to distinguish yourself in battle. Eliminate the vermin. forces! Destroy the inversion furnace's control system! I don't want to meddle with Master Trail's accomplishments, but Amon can rebuild it. You vermin will not have it your way.
Descendant, it's too late. The enemy is fighting back. If they destroy the control system, I cannot continue the inversion process. We must stop them.
Loading.